What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? So, today I want to talk about fear, being afraid, the act of being afraid, being traumatized, letting fear become a normacy in your life, the dangers of that, especially when it comes to your goals, to your opportunities, to your experiences. So, let's get into it. Quote of the day: It's okay to be afraid. It's not okay to be afraid of being afraid. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called fear. And fear leads to regret. The Catalyst. Song of the day: Don't Stay by Linkin Park. So, I first want to talk about being afraid. For anyone to say that they're not afraid of anything at any time means one of two things, right? One, you're a psychopath. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful sense. It just means that you lack a certain spectrum of emotion. You lack a certain uh, type of attachment, so you can't have a certain emotional experience. When I say psychopath, that's what I mean. Something has happened to you, or you've been programmed a certain way that you don't have the same emotions that normal people do. The second is, and the most obvious, the most probable, is that you're lying. Most people that say that they're never afraid are lying. And I'm not saying that in a bad sense either. Sometimes there's a time where you need to put on a certain front. You need to put up a certain narrative so other people can be inspired by you, so that they can see that you can overcome. So they will be able to hold you as an idol and overcome too, as a role model, so to speak, right? But for the most part, we are all afraid at some point of the day, at some point in our life, at some point in the year, on some point of your journey, you're going to be afraid. And that's okay. What a lot of men don't have people that are telling them that it's okay to be afraid. So when we are afraid, we hide it. When we are afraid, we lie about it. We try to, we feel belittled. We feel less than a man. We feel emasculated because what ends up happening is you think you're not supposed to be afraid. You have these role models. You have this stigma that society has said a man's supposed to be this, a man's supposed to be that. But a man is afraid. What is not okay is to become afraid of being afraid. You become afraid of just the feeling of being afraid, not being afraid of something, but you're so scared of being afraid that you won't even do anything that may bring about this feeling. You won't try anything new. You won't go on a roller coaster. You won't try to learn a new language. You won't try to pursue a craft. You won't approach that girl. You won't try to advance yourself or go after your goals because you remember that feeling of being afraid, and now it has put you in a box where you no longer want to experience that feeling, and that is not okay for anybody. Once you become afraid of being afraid, once you become to the point where you can no longer experience it, you have now made yourself accustomed to your fear. You are now in operating in fear. And there are multiple quotes, there are multiple passages, there are multiple scriptures I can go to about fear, but God didn't give us a spirit of fear. He does let us know to be afraid. He does let us know to be mindful. He does let us know to be cautious. But fear, to be afraid of being afraid, like you think about it, the valley of the shadow of death. Think about that. Not even death, but the shadow is what you're scared of. So, how do we overcome being afraid? How do we make sure that we don't end up becoming afraid of being afraid? It is not an easy answer. And it is sometimes a difficult journey. but I will tell you what has worked for me. I replace one fear with another. So, full confession, I am afraid of something, right? Guess what? I'm guilty. I'm human. I'm a man. You got me. And what I've come to find out is when you're afraid to try, when you're afraid to move forward, what you end up getting is missed opportunities, missed experiences, missed memories, missed joy, missed occasions because you don't want to take a risk. Now, this isn't an invitation. This is an excuse for you to go jump out a plane without a parachute. The catalyst is not telling you that. I am not telling you that. You should always be cautious. But living in a bubble, keeping yourself confined in a space, if you're okay with waking up one day and realizing that you're never going to have any other experiences outside of what you already have, go for it. If you're okay with waking up and saying that you're going to have limited resources, limited goals, limited things that you're going to achieve, limited people that you're going to meet, limited loved ones in your life, then go for it. But for those who want more, that should terrify you more than trying. The fact that you'll never have a loved one should terrify you more than getting your heart broken. The fact that you'll never have a perfectly sculpted body, or having the best health that you can have, should terrify you. That should be terrifying, having unhealth instead of going to the gym and being laughed at or ridiculed. And I will say, anybody who makes fun of somebody at the gym who's trying to get their health together is a scumbag. I'm going to take a sidebar right now and just say, making fun of somebody at the gym who's getting their health and their fitness together is like making fun of somebody who's broke at a job fair. They're doing what they need to do to get the job done, to rectify the problem, to improve their situation. So you're a scumbag for trying to discourage them. You're a scumbag if that makes you feel good. You're a scumbag if that's what you need to get through your day to make you feel better. You should be able to encourage them. You should be welcoming them. You should be letting them know if you need anything, that you're there to inspire them, educate them, and give them the knowledge that you have from all those experiences and things that have happened to you, and making sure that none of that bad stuff happens to them. So back to fear. That's another way. Finding the right mentors, finding the right circle. I preach that all the time. I beat that over the head all the time about the inner circle, the people you surround yourself with, because your inner circle will check you when you can't check yourself. So, guys, in this road, in this journey to improvement, on this journey of bettering ourselves, obtaining our goals, and achieving things, we're going to be afraid. Things are going to get scary. Don't let it discourage you from trying. Do not let it make you accustomed to this feeling. You become accustomed to fear. If you become accustomed to being afraid, if you become accustomed so you make yourself stay in the same spot and you don't try to move forward, you are now operating in fear. And you cannot be the best person that you can be when you are surrounded, cloaked, and overthrown by fear. I want to thank everybody out there for watching. All right, guys, I need you to take care of yourselves. Please be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.